Your grandmother's KitchenAid mixer was built by the same company that manufactured gear systems for United States Navy battleships. It weighed over 60 pounds. It had machined metal internals, and it was designed to run every single day for decades without failing. Today, that same brand name is slapped on a machine with a nylon worm gear, a motor that leaks grease into your cookie dough, and a 1-year warranty that tells you everything you need to know about how long the manufacturer expects it to last. Why did one of the most trusted names in the American kitchen gut its own product? We are going to tear open this story and show you exactly what went wrong, who profited from the decline, and the 3 machines you should actually spend your money on. If you walk into any department store today, you might believe you are looking at the same legendary machine that sat on your mother's counter for 30 years. You see that iconic tilting silhouette in 40 different colors, from pistachio to tangerine. You see the words KitchenAid stamped on the front, and you assume that the company standing behind that name is the same one that earned its reputation by building commercial-grade equipment for professional bakeries and the federal government. That is an illusion. The company that built that original mixer no longer exists. It was called the Hobart Manufacturing Company, founded in Troy, Ohio in 1897. Hobart did not make kitchen toys. They made industrial equipment for bakeries, meat processing plants, and the United States military. When you bought a KitchenAid mixer in 1965, you were buying a product from engineers who built machines that had to function on a warship in the Pacific Ocean. That company was bought, sold, split apart, and eventually absorbed by Whirlpool Corporation, the same conglomerate that makes your dishwasher and your washing machine. And when Whirlpool took over, the engineering philosophy changed from build it to last to build it to sell. Today, KitchenAid controls roughly 43% of the entire American stand mixer market. They produce nearly 3 million units per year at a single factory in Greenville, Ohio, and they offer over 40 colors. But that market dominance is not built on engineering excellence anymore. It is built on a shape, a color palette, and the memory of a machine that no longer exists. And the story of how that happened involves a poet, a con artist playbook, and a $150 million deal that separated the KitchenAid name from the factory that gave it meaning. The KitchenAid mixer was never meant for home kitchens. In 1908, a Hobart engineer named Herbert Johnston watched a baker struggling to mix bread dough by hand, sometimes dripping sweat directly into the dough. Johnston became obsessed with building a mechanical alternative. By 1914, Hobart introduced the Model H, an 80-quart commercial mixer for industrial bakeries. The United States Navy noticed immediately. By 1917, Hobart stand mixers were installed as standard equipment on every Navy vessel, including the battleships USS South Carolina, USS Tennessee, and USS California. The military contracts funded the technology that would eventually become the home mixer. In 1918, the first product branded KitchenAid rolled off the line, and by 1919, the dedicated home model called the H5 hit the consumer market. It weighed 65 pounds. It cost $189.50, which is roughly $2,800 in today's money. Hobart built only 4 units per day, and they were sold door to door by an almost entirely female sales force, one of the first of its kind in American business, years before Tupperware or Avon existed. The sales pitch actually required the husband to be home because, at the time, there was this assumption that only a man could understand the engineering. Then in 1937, something happened that would define the brand forever. Hobart hired an industrial designer named Egmont Ahrens to redesign the mixer. Ahrens was not your typical engineer. He was a Greenwich Village Renaissance man who had been a cowboy, a sports editor, a poet, a painter, the art editor of Vanity Fair, and even the editor of a magazine called Playboy, which was a modern art journal decades before Hugh Hefner used the name. Ahrens created the streamlined bullet-shaped silhouette that remains virtually unchanged 88 years later. That design is now a registered trademark and sits in the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art as an icon of American design. But here is the dark irony. The same man who designed this timeless machine also co-authored a book in 1932 called Consumer Engineering, a New Technique for Prosperity. It was a manifesto for planned obsolescence. He argued that industry should de-engineer products to be consumed and replaced. The man who designed the KitchenAid literally wrote the book on making things break on purpose. But that philosophy did not infect the mixer itself until the ownership changed hands. In 1981, Canadian Pacific Enterprises launched a hostile takeover bid for Hobart Corporation. To avoid it, Hobart accepted a white knight deal from Dart and Kraft, the company that owned both Kraft Foods and Tupperware, for $460 million. Then in January of 1985, Whirlpool announced it would acquire the KitchenAid division for $150 million. By February of 1986, the deal was done. Whirlpool's chairman, Jack Sparks, was remarkably honest about his intentions. He said they were interested in expanding into the highest-end niche of the market. What he did not say is that they would achieve that by keeping the premium price while systematically reducing the cost of what goes inside the machine. Now here is where the story gets technical, and this is where most people get it wrong. The internet is full of claims that Whirlpool replaced all metal gears with all plastic gears. That is an oversimplification that actually obscures a more damning truth. According to detailed teardown analysis from independent repair specialists, the worm follower gear, which is the one gear everyone photographs when their mixer fails, has actually always been a non-metallic material, even in the original Hobart-era mixers. In the 1950s and 60s, it was a fiber composite. In the 70s, it was a gray composite that looked like metal but was not. And today, it is a yellow nylon material reinforced with Kevlar fibers. That gear is designed to strip before the motor burns out. It functions like an electrical fuse, a sacrificial component that protects the more expensive part. That is legitimate engineering. So what actually changed? Several things, and they all compound on each other. First, Hobart machined its metal gears from solid blanks with precise, tight tolerances. Whirlpool-era gears are cast, likely using sintered powder metal, which produces looser tolerances, noisier operation, and faster wear. Second, the Professional 600 series initially shipped with a plastic transmission housing that cracked under normal use. KitchenAid did not fix this until around 2005, after years of complaints, when they finally upgraded to a metal housing. Third, and this is the detail that should make you angry, independent analysis has identified that KitchenAid uses an inferior clay-based lubricant that separates over time and leaks dark brown or green oil through the planetary shaft directly into your mixing bowl. KitchenAid's own website acknowledges this, stating the grease is food grade and approved for incidental contact with food, but may discolor light-colored frostings or mashed potatoes. Read that again. They are telling you that grease leaking into your food is a known feature of the product, and they still have not changed the lubricant. But wait, it gets worse. The Classic model, which retails for around $280, and the Artisan, which retails for around $450, use the exact same motor, same part number. The only difference in the wattage rating reflects the power consumed when spinning a larger bowl at maximum speed, not any actual upgrade in the motor itself. A class action lawsuit called Bornstein versus Whirlpool confirmed that the horsepower marketing was misleading. The settlement gave consumers zero cash. All they got was a 2-year warranty extension and updated marketing language. And speaking of warranties, KitchenAid offers just 1 year on a machine whose entire brand identity is built on lasting a lifetime. Meanwhile, the Swedish-made Ankarsrum offers a 7-year motor warranty. The German-designed Bosch Universal Plus also offers 7 years, 1 year versus 7. That gap tells you everything about how much confidence each manufacturer has in its own product, and the consumer reviews tell the rest of the story. On consumer affairs, the pattern is consistent across thousands of complaints. The old mixer lasted 20 to 25 years. The replacement failed within 1 to 5. One reviewer captured it perfectly. She said her first KitchenAid finally quit after 20 years, and the replacement was, in her words, an absolute piece of crap. Another documented stripping the gears on her Professional 600 3 times in 2 years, making only buttercream and cake batter, not even bread dough. The machines that were once handed down from mother to daughter are now being thrown away before the wedding photos fade. So if the modern KitchenAid is engineered to fail on a timeline, does that mean you should give up on the dream of owning a serious kitchen machine? No, it means you need to stop shopping based on a silhouette and start shopping based on what is inside the housing. You have 3 options that will outperform any new KitchenAid on the market today. Option 1 is to buy a vintage Hobart-era KitchenAid from before the Whirlpool acquisition. Models like the K5A and the K5SS from the 1960s and 70s are still running in kitchens across America after 50 years of continuous use. You can find these unrestored on estate sales and eBay for $100 to $200. A company called Mr. Mixer, run by a former paramedic named Zach DeNicola out of Augusta, Kansas, has built an entire business restoring these machines. In 4 years, he has processed roughly 40,000 orders, ships to all 50 states, and has over 820,000 followers on TikTok. A fully restored vintage KitchenAid from Mr. Mixer costs around $325 to $450, which is the same price as a new Artisan, except the restored machine has machined gears, superior lubricant, and a track record of lasting decades, not years. Option 2 is to buy one of the few remaining alternatives that are engineered for durability, not shelf appeal. The Ankarsrum original is handmade in Sweden and has been in production since 1940. It uses a rotating bowl design that can handle up to 13 pounds of flour without straining. It comes with a 7-year motor warranty and is manufactured from 100% recycled materials. The Bosch Universal Plus is a German-designed mixer manufactured in Slovenia. It runs a 500-watt bottom drive motor that can handle 14 pounds of bread dough and also carries a 7-year warranty, all at a lower price than the KitchenAid Professional. And option 3, for the person who wants to buy the last mixer they will ever own, is the Hobart N50. This is the spiritual successor to the original KitchenAid, still made by the Hobart Commercial Division, which now operates under Illinois Tool Works. It weighs 55 pounds. It has an all-metal gear-driven transmission. It runs at one constant motor speed with mechanical gears changing the output, which means consistent torque at every setting. It costs between $2,700 and $3,000, which sounds expensive until you realize it will outlast every appliance in your kitchen and probably your kitchen itself. The real cost of a kitchen machine is not the sticker price. It is the price divided by the years of service. A KitchenAid Artisan at $450, lasting 10 years, costs you $45 per year. A restored vintage K5A at $350, lasting 50 years, costs you $7 per year. And a Hobart N50 at $3,000, lasting a lifetime, costs you virtually nothing per decade. The math is not even close. The KitchenAid stand mixer is one of the most recognizable objects in American domestic life. Julia Child's cobalt blue model sits in the Smithsonian. 65% of brides put one on their wedding registry. And that is exactly the problem. KitchenAid does not have to build a great mixer anymore because the brand sells itself on color, on nostalgia, and on the assumption that the machine sitting on your counter is the same one your grandmother used. It is not. The company that built your grandmother's machine still exists. It is called Hobart, and it is still making mixers with all metal gears and commercial-grade reliability. They just do not put the KitchenAid name on them anymore. Do not let Whirlpool take $500 from you for a machine with a 1-year warranty and grease that leaks into your frosting. Check the gears, check the lineage, and never underestimate the value of a machine that was built to supply the United States Navy. If you found this fascinating, hit subscribe for more stories like this.